behind the Aedra pedestal. Only his bared teeth seem to have escaped decay. His eyes are yellowed and bloodshot, but they flicker with intelligence. He averts his gaze and holds a hand in front of his face.
Shouldn't be here. What do you want?
The ring, Smeagol. Tell me what happened here.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He smashes a fist into the Aedra pillar. His hand makes a crunching sound, but doesn't bleed.
Forgive me. Forgive me. Research. We came to do research on the tower. Some commission from gods. It hardly matters now.
Precious. Whatever happened, I just need you to give me the facts, please.
Something happened on our 11th night. Lights in the sky and a static charge in the air. But we were so careful. We were staying in the chambers below. Trindig, my assistant, said he saw a robed figure lurking around the tower. Wore a mask. Carried knives at his sides. A trick of shadows, I told him. The next morning, we felt strange. Like we hadn't eaten in weeks. So dazed that we didn't at first notice the blood around our beds. The strange wounds that had appeared overnight. And the machine. This cursed spire. Dormant for 2,000 years. Lifeless through hundreds of our experiments. And we wake that morning to find it spinning on its own. On its own! How can we stop what we couldn't start? Years I've been doing this. Years. I know how these things work. But I don't know how this happened. Nowhere to go. That's the problem. Their souls are trapped here like flies in a jar, clinging to rotting meat.
Slow down. What does the machine have to do with souls?
No time to slow down. But I can explain. Hold a magnet over iron splinters and they stick, yes? Rub your hand over weir wool and the hair of your head will follow it. So it is with this machine.
He looks at you and runs his tongue along the edges of his fine, strong teeth. He quickly looks away.
It has the power to manipulate souls, but why? For what? And how many others lie buried in the ruins of Erglonfath? No. Focus on this one. It's imprisoned our souls in our bodies. Cut the root between essence and flesh. Left a dwindling soul stuck in a shriveling husk.
There was a stranger in the tower the night this happened?
I didn't see him. My assistant, he saw him. We laughed. Said he was spooked by the cemetery. Perhaps it was already too late. I don't know what he did. But by morning the machine was on and we were slain. People were already on the streets, complaining of neighbors and family members acting strangely.
You're not like the ghouls in the street.
Not yet. But I will be. My body is dead. My soul, imprisoned in this corpse, only makes it seem otherwise. And as the body decays, so does the mind. Until nothing is left but the hunger. The only way to forestall the process is through a regular infusion of essence. Living flesh is the only ready supply. I'm not proud of any of it. Hunting men and women in the early days of the affliction. Picking off soldiers that came to investigate. But I'd do it again. I'll do it as long as I must to end this disaster. You could help. Help me end this. Help me find sustenance.
What happened to the rest of your team?
By the time I realized what had happened, the district had already been sealed. So we fed when we needed, and locked ourselves in the tower to work. And then there came a time when the hunger struck, and there was hardly anyone left.
How can I help?
Not your help I need. It's Harridan Shrew squanders her research on frivolities, then refuses to make herself useful. Runes. The runes are the last part of the puzzle. Acantha knows them. She gives them to you, and you can turn the machine off. Release our souls.
She wasn't here the night the machine came on, staying with her patron somewhere near. Too good to be burdened with our ignorant company. I'll get the words from Acantha.
Yes. Acantha. She was here. In the district. Probably here still. Always prepared. Clever lady, that one. And perhaps you bring me something. Something to keep me sharp. Then I show you a secret about the machine. Something to make you strong.
Descanto. His condition has turned him into little more than an animal. Don't do it.
Yeah?
Oh, that's convenient. Go to the bottom. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Really? Alright, let's get in normal formation. Loop up and around. Alrighty. Okie dokie Acantha.
You return.
I need the words that operate the Ingwithin machine in the tower.
That fool Aldhelm. He sent you, didn't he? I can hardly believe he's had the cleverness to survive. That simpleton thinks he can understand how to use something without understanding what it is, or why it is.
You feel the hot core of pride smoldering at the center of her soul.
He dabbles with ancient and powerful devices, with all the finesse of a blacksmith. He sends you here to petition me for aid after years of disparaging my research. I'll bet he didn't even tell you the tower's name, did he? That's his problem. Always looking for solutions without caring for meaning.
Humble Adelheim now by demonstrating the value of your research. Or tell me the tower's name.
Ter Nuneth. It's called Ter Nuneth. They built the machine atop it to contain souls, hold them in place. But the others I've seen, machines scattered all over the Dyrwood, are relays, built to move souls.
Where would they move souls?
Another mystery. Hypothetically, anywhere they wished. The real question, as always, is why? To intermix them the way a player shuffles his deck, the way a farmer rotates his fields? To collect them, like butterflies under glass? To melt them down for raw essence?
You seem...
Unfortunately, I don't know.
You seem to know a lot about Tir Nuneth. Noneth.
I read the runes like a journal. I understand their meaning. People like Aldhelm try to read them like instructions, and in so doing, they miss their true meaning completely.
Why would the Engwithans have wanted to tether souls like this?
Perhaps they didn't. Perhaps that's why they built no other machines like this one. We now see the Engwithans as masters of soul manipulation, but they couldn't have attained their expertise without copious trial and error. Perhaps this was one such experiment.
How do you operate the machine atop Tir Noneth?
Back to these Tinker's concerns. And what would you do with these tethered souls if I told you?
I'd release them.
So you say. And just what would you release them to? They'd abandon their existence here for another somewhere else, equally aimless and meaningless.
I could help you, but I won't. The pride lodged in her soul flares up, twisting into the shape of something that writhes and squeals within her. Here. I have specimens aplenty and time enough to observe them all. It's every scientist's dream. My answer is no. You're dead. Why does any of this matter? Because my research will outlive me. I'll have time and opportunity enough to accomplish more than any animancer in the history of the field. And who will know of it? The pride thing flickers as the flame around it abate. All I've learned, years of studying the Engwithan language, no one understands it better than me. That counts for something. Knowledge is meaningless unless it's shared. A foolish and false sentiment. Knowledge is meaning. It needs no external purpose. Her pride smolders still. Your opportunities here are finite. One day that knowledge will die with you. The pride hisses and sputters. It's little more than an ember now. You're wrong, but there's no conviction in her voice. I'll build it forever. I'll cling to it. That will give me something. Tell me what you know, and I'll make sure that it grows and your legacy lives on. The words finally quench her pride, and all that remains is a blackened diamond hard rock. You cast it away, where it melts into darkness.
So be it. My studies and efforts shall grow through yours.
It makes me evil? 1%, 1 might, and 5% endurance? Doesn't seem worth it if I'm evil.
These are the words you need.
Her cold, dry fingertips rest on your temples, and you feel her reaching into your mind, forming images from the darkness. Runes flash through your head, but they're no longer just pictures. They have meaning, and you understand them. They're commands. Something triggers in your mind, a distant memory unearthed from a past life long since buried. You can see a vast array of runes, far more than Acantha has shown you, and you know their sound and their meaning and how they fit together. The language of Engwith, once more, at your command.
Something has awakened in your mind. You understand far more than I ever did. Take this knowledge then, and do what you will with Tir Nuneth. Now that you understand its purpose, it will serve you in whatever way you wish.
Certainly. What do I do with the tower now that I know these words?
Turn it off, I expect. That will be easy now that you can read the runes. The vessels would still roam, but striking them down would return their essence to the cycle. But be careful. That machine controls hundreds of souls, and that volume of essence could easily overload it. Improperly channeling the essence would destroy the machine along with the souls. It would be a terrible loss for posterity.
You said that the other towers around Dyrwood were constructed to move souls. Why would the Engwithans have wanted to do that? Another mystery. How do you know so much? Read the runes. Tether souls. Perhaps they didn't. Explain the controller words. Alright, thanks. Alrighty. Make it go boom. I'm just gonna